okay with shooting Daniel. So we're even shooting Dan.
Is this because I threatened to send you mug root beer?
Yeah. So does this mean that Will doesn't play golf because he thinks it's too difficult?
Janitor.
Yes!
Oh, nice! I'm right there with you. Really?
Amazing!
Oh!
Bro, chop, chop.
Yeah, chop, chop. Chop, chop.
Alison.
How did I just click my own die?
Jen, tell us a little bit about what's on the shelf. Because while you're doing that, I'm going to eat this bagel. Insectoid invasion. Insectoid invasion.
Nice.
They're coming to eat your brains.
I've never been to Beijing, but my walls in my room are beige, so I've been beiging for a while.
I'm about to see a hairstyle. Hold on, let's see this.
Oh,
Two purples, two yellows, and a blue flower.
Yeah, there's just two purples. We're just gonna rename Chris to two purples.
Oh hey, don't eat my bed. I just got coffee.
Gather around at a table. We can do.
Hello, everybody. It's Chris from Charity Board Gamer. I just tapped the space bar, so it ended the video super quick because I was tapping space as I was on the wonderful world of, what's it called? Tabletopia. What's up? So it is going to be a fun night. I decided we're going to be playing a game that's based around wine country, and I thought, what a better way than to enjoy a nice Moscato d'Asti, something a little bit subtle but sweet, a little bit of bubble to it, and I'm going to have some fun tonight. So
We'll have some fun with you.
I actually have several bottles here.
What'd you bring? What do you have?
I got, let's see, I have West Birch. I got Nickel. These are all BC wines. So all the wineries that are on the board are actually real locations, kind of like where Monopoly is. So you'll see a West Birch and a Three Sisters in the final version of the game.
Oh, I'm excited.
Their labels aren't on there yet. We're still working on the labels, but the bottles are there. So I could, funnily enough, I can tell you which wineries were because I've driven the Naramata region so often and I've worked on the board so often. I know exactly where all these wineries are. So yeah, that's Nickel is the last winery you'll on the board, and Three Sisters is the first.
Nice. Well, I'm going to introduce real quick our special guest, which is talking about wine, which is getting me more interested. And Daniel already is trying to get me to hydrate with a glass of wine. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to drink myself to being drunk on a live stream. That would be interesting. Maybe we'll do that for like a quote unquote after dark episode.
Hey, I'll be there for that.
I know, but tonight we have
Karaoke.
night. Oh gosh, that'd be weird. Okay, we'll have to talk to a couple people like Monique and who else? Rachel. Yeah, got to have Rachel for that. But no, we've got Chris on here to talk about. Is it Naramata? Is that how we say it?
It's Naramata, and the hilarious thing is if you go on Google Maps and have the thing talk to you, it says Naramata. So it's Naramata. It's a Naramata region where there's a Naramata town and a Naramata bench. So Okanagan wine country. I don't know where you guys are stationed. Like, you could be in Prague for all I know, but. All right.
I'm actually out of the Charleston, West Virginia area. The winery that I used to go to a lot of time. I lived in Virginia for some time. We used to go to the actual winery that I have on my glass, Williamsburg Winery. You'd go on wine tours. At the end of the wine tour, they would give you a glass to take home with you, which is nice.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's a good way to sell your wine.
We're
Yeah.
in Arkansas. So we're in Arkansas. Is there a winery? There's a distillery.
There's multiple wineries in Arkansas. Then few in Missouri, but
I'm in Prince George, British Columbia, so I'm west and north, and I'm in the middle of the province. And if you start at the border between Washington State and you go up to the middle of the province where I am, there are 350 wineries.
Whoa!
Oh wow!
And most of them, unlike other regions like Napa or say some other regions where the wine region is kind of a big grid. In Okanagan is a giant valley that stretches for 100 lakes and 700 miles, 500 miles. And it starts in a place called Osoyoos and goes all the way up to a place called Kamloops, and it's effectively a single road. There's a bunch of branching highways and so forth, but you basically drive on a single road, one end to the other. Just before you get to a place called Penticton, the road splits, and it goes west up a place called Peachland and Summerland, which have about 30 wineries on their own. But on the right is something called Naramata. Now, unlike places like Osoyoos and Kelowna, which have focused on, like, here's some fruit places, here's tourism, there's hiking, there's skiing, Naramata is wine only. In a 10-minute drive, there are 45 wineries.
Wow.
So you go for a week. Is there hotels there that you can
Oh, yeah. What you do
visit
is
and
you're
just
smart.
travel the whole week?
Yeah, well, they're Airbnbs. Well, my wife, who's now my wife, we just got married in September. Our first wine trip in 2014, we started in Osoyoos, drove to the north of Kelowna, and in that span, we visited 60 wineries in 8 days, which I'm told is not healthy.
No.
Don't do that. In Naramata, because the wineries are all packed up and very tight to each other, and like I said, it's about a 2 or 3 hour walk, about a 10-minute drive from one end to the other. You can visit, in a case, 16 wineries in a day, which I also have been told is not healthy.
No, that's
He doesn't remember any of these
He doesn't remember it.
experiences.
So. I've repeated the trip several times with friends. I've been there twice this year. So the board we're going to see is an exaggerated version of the Naramata region. It is semi-accurate. The only thing is that there's a 2-kilometer chunk of no wineries in the middle that I've just snipped out and then shoved together. But yeah, Naramata it's got 2 distilleries, a couple cheeseries, and just loads and loads of wineries. And we approached them with the idea because I wanted to develop a board game. My background is in Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop role playing, and I approached them with a partner that I brought on board, Norm Coyne, and he said, "Hey man, let's try to get the wineries on board." And we went down there, and they're like, "Hell yeah!" Because there's actually a Naramata Wine Association, and they represent about 35 of the wineries on board, and we got 28 of the wineries that we wanted. So all the wineries except for 2 are real wineries because I wanted to put my own winery on there. I don't have a winery, but a man can dream. So I've created a winery, and it's on the board.
Well, it looks like
awesome.
Guts or Not said that they've spent a couple days in Kelowna wine tasting. Amazing, beautiful, and great wine.
Oh,
So
Ghost, no, what's your favorite bottle then? I'm gonna put you on a test here. Come on, tell me what your favorite wine is in Kelowna. Don't say Mission Hill. Everyone says Mission Hill. Mission Hill is like the Disneyland of wine. It's on a giant. It's at the top of a mountain. It's a defunct volcano, and it's got a giant bell tower. It's like, oh yeah, he said Mission Hill. Of course, it's gonna be Mission Hill. Mission Hill's good, but Mission Hill's just it's Disneyland. It's very expensive. It's very boisterous. I like there's about 20 other wineries within a 5-minute drive of Mission Hill, which are really, really good as well. That's not in this region. We focused specifically on Naramata. Yes, their tour is fantastic.
That's really cool. Well, let's show the board. Let's talk about the game. I'm excited. We've got, of course, we cracked open some bottles of wine. We're going to drink a little bit of wine. If you hit the hydrate button, no, I am not going to just start chugging this. So already I'm saying that to Daniel specifically. So I'm just waiting for it.
Well, we actually have a wine festival. We're having a very COVID safe wine meeting with friends. And so all these bottles I showed you, they're all open, getting open tomorrow.
Nice. All right. So we have the board opened up. It looks beautiful. I like these little wine bottles. Now, tell us about this game and how we're going to play. Now, I know that this is coming out to Kickstarter November 24th. Is that correct?
Jackpot. Yeah. Right. So the funny thing is that when we're talking about wine, you guys brought up viticulture before the stream began. And Naramata is a little different because viticulture, there's about a dozen wine games on the market. Okay. And I own 3 of them. I own Vinhos because my background is my parents were Portuguese, and Vinhos is done by a Portuguese designer and set in Portugal, so I had to get it. And then you have viticulture. There's one called El Vino, and a whole bunch of smaller European ones. And then, of course, there's Wine Nerd and Winopoly, but those are just mostly drinking games and trivia games. But all of the mainstream games, El Vino, Vinhos, and viticulture are all about running a winery. right? The business side, the economy side, and I wanted to play, and that's not who we are. We don't run a winery. So instead, I played around with the idea of how about centering on the players acting as tour guides and going across wine country as you might actually be, as someone who's touring wine country. So that's the approach with this game. So it's not about running a winery. It's about having a fantastic experience with the tourists that you have in your vehicle.
Neat. Well, I am eager to play
like
because
the
this
art.
sounds really cool.
Yeah. So a couple disclaimers. There's a few things that aren't 100%. One thing you'll notice, only one of the player vehicles is finished. The other ones are just in sketch form. And not only that, but we only just got our player trays from Game Trays yesterday. So Noah Alderman from Game Trays, very famous tray designer, did Grim Forest and a whole bunch of other ones. He's designed our trays. Unfortunately, Tabletopia won't import them, so we're still stuck with the basic old version of the trays, but the old version of the rules. But that still kind of applies. And obviously, the bottles don't have labels, and we're going to have a sticker pack in the game so you can actually apply the actual label. So you'll have little tiny miniature bottles of real wine.
Nice. Is there anything like a Kickstarter pledge where they get a bottle of wine from the area later on? Or?
You know, we tried, but apparently there's a rule that you can't sell alcohol on Kickstarter.
Oh, gosh. Thanks a lot, Kickstarter. Thank you. I can get almost everything else, but I can't get my alcohol on Kickstarter.
And then you get into like, you can't ship wine and you can't ship alcohol
over the
border of Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can't do any like mail order alcohol. So.
That sucks.
Yeah,
we went to Seattle wine country and didn't realize that there's a 24-hour delay you have to have. So if you go across to Seattle and come back the same day, you have to pay a massive duty for any wine you bring across. If you're there for a full day, then you come back, you're allowed like 3 bottles. It's kind of lame.
That's interesting because I have a friend that owns a restaurant in North California. And she travels like the whole strip there, getting supplies that she needs, and she goes back home the same day. I wonder how she does that.
Do any of you guys have wine collections?
I don't. They usually don't last very long if they're in our house. It's kind of how it is. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed some different types of wines. I enjoy a Moscato Asti for a nice, lighter, sweeter taste. I like Claret for that full-bodied blend of the slowly building on the cheeks and tannin, and then rolling off the tongue nice and smooth. You know, I like that kind of taste. I like a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo to be used in like things like a sangria, or if I'm going to do a sangria as well, you can throw a Lambrusca and I'm not going to mind. But, you know, and then Monkoff Riesling is really good. I've enjoyed that quite a bit. And then I'm surprised, but, you know, as silly as it is, Beringer White Zinfandel is not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's not, I mean, it's one of the most top selling White Zinfandels out there because it's the one that really got it started. I mean, somebody made a mistake and they made $1 million, billion, $trillion mistake now. So it's instead cost them a lot more money in their pocket, which is awesome for them. But can't go wrong with a rosé as well. So
yeah, I got about 200 bottles in my collection.
Wow.
Someday maybe we'll have.
I've got 2
coffee mugs. That's about.
I've got 2. One is open, and one is not. So
I got 300 board games and 200 bottles of wine.
We're there on the board games.
Yeah, we're there on the board games.
Yeah.
I am not there on the board games. I think board game wise right now I'm at about 180. I might have just crossed 200. I just had about 6 games come in the mail yesterday. So
yeah,
oh, nice.
I don't know. I have no idea where we are. We've gotten.
I've lost count. I need to put it in my spreadsheet.
No.
As far
it's
as
a blessing,
wine
I'll tell you.
As far as wine goes, you sound way more intelligent than I do.
And I was going to say exactly what you said, which is why I didn't say it, because you literally took the words out of my mouth.
I discovered I always thought that I liked a sweet wine, but then I also, before I met my husband, I thought I liked my steak well done. Apparently, I do not.
Oh gosh, well done. Oh
yeah, he fixed it. But I realized that I really like just a really dry wine. Sweet wines, I'm just not a big sweet wine. I like them.
See, I've never been a Chardonnay type person. I don't mind sweet though. I don't mind a port. I don't mind I don't mind a Moscato. I don't mind Prosecco, but it's all about the balance of where it goes with the meal. Like, are we talking about before dinner? Are we talking about after dinner? Dessert time? What you're eating it with really plays a big factor too. That was something that originally when I was in restaurants, I originally was looking at going through sommelier school. So
nice, impressive.
Cool.
I said I was going to. Doesn't mean I did.
By the way, if you ever want to tick off a sommelier or a wine guru at a restaurant, and they give you that little sample, a little glass, and just sip, say something like, "This has a very much of a wine taste to it." Don't say anything. Just say, "This tastes. I'm picking up grapes." Like, never say that. It really ticks them off.
That would be hilarious.
That would be wild to even say.
That'd be fun.
Or you can ask the server. I mean, some of these servers are really good. I remember when I had a class where I taught my servers, I taught them the difference between tannin, light tannin, to no tannin, to heavy on the tannin, explaining that. We would actually do wine tasting so that way they could actually taste it. We'd have some different food items cooked ahead of time so they could taste the differences when they ate the food things. And then throughout the week of their training, they would get like a meal. They'd get like a sample of meals. And then after getting a sample of all those meals, they'd also get to try a cocktail that was from the bar and get to try one of the wines to get an understanding of how it blends with the meal. So that's how it was when I was a restaurant manager. Because I wanted you to sell wine. I wanted you to sell that because that was where the money was at.
Totally.
Yep. That's what paid for the labor cost was wine. Seriously. All right. Walk us through. I am excited.
All right. So I'm going to assume color matching with our characters. So I'm going to be playing the black player who is driving a Hummer. It's slightly modified so we don't get sued.
Okay.
The blue player is going to be driving. If you click on it, it'll go into much more in focus, and you can see a Volkswagen microbus.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing!
And the red player has a Jeep Wrangler.
All right, I'm bringing all the stuff over to me so I can see it on my side of the screen.
The white sports car, I'm just going to move aside so that no one sees it. Now, each of these players has a very specific ability. I'm actually going to move my guy over here as well. So in the case of the red player, he actually gets 4 action tokens instead of 3, which we'll go into. The blue player can do a specific type of action on the road instead of at a winery. And the Hummer, being the complete jerk he is, can drive over the grass between roads.
Off-roading, woohoo!
Love it.
Because that's what a Hummer does. He just goes where he wants. I should be kind of soft with my jokes. The image on the vehicle is actually a real person. So we are running tour guide operations. So we're trying to make tourists happy.
Okay.
You'll want to bring your cards as kind of close to the base as possible, just because you're going to have a lot of assets going above it, by the way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing, we'll go from left to right. So I'll go first. Now, have you guys ever played a game called Takedo?
I have not. No,
Takedo is similar to a lot of other games. It's called point-to-point movement, where you move one direction, you can't move back. Takedo is very, very famous. So is Great Western Trail, where you basically can go as far forward as you want, but you can't go backwards. You have to kind of plot out your day. However, the difference in this game is that every action costs time. So in those other games where the person furthest back goes first, in this game, the person furthest back in time goes first. So every time you do an action, you have to pay the time cost. Now, I've grabbed my little meeple here, and I'm going to put him right at 11 o'clock at the beginning of the day. And then the red player, I'll have you drop your little time meeple just above mine at 11 o'clock. Or blue, so red.
So we're going to go up a little higher.
Yeah. So red, you want to grab your time meeple, which is right next to your board.
Okay. Let me go to my. There we go. Grab my little red meeple.
Yep.
All right.
The little guy.
Where am I going to go?
Just squeeze in between blue and black. A little Oreo there. Okay.
Nice.
A little Oreo.
So this is our day. We're going to do a 3-day game. We'll see how long we can get to because we're explaining the game, so it may take a bit longer. You can do a short game of 2 days or a long game with 4. 3 is kind of what we think is a good balance. Like I said, it plays at about, depends on the group, anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes. My last play was 90 minutes, but that was with people who knew what they were doing. And you go through this time clock every single time. So that's our first step. We've established our time equals at the beginning. We have 3 of these of your discs are actually action tokens. So you can put 3 of those and place them on your character board.
Okay.
And then one of them is a point tracker you put on the 5-point space.
Okay.
The extra discs, one is if you pass the 100-point space, and the other one is if you manage to get the card that gives you another action token. In fact, we can see that on the upgrade row.
Oh, I already get an extra action token to start.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, look at that. I got
So
it.
action token can be used in 2 different ways. The account for the currency, there's a currency called Prestige, which we'll see.
Okay.
And you can use an action token for Prestige at a 1-to-1 basis. And since you get them, you get your action tokens back every day, it's kind of a regenerative money supply. But if you have certain cards like this little 9 card here, you can use your action tokens to activate them. In this one here, for example, you can spend 2 action tokens to just get 3 points.
Okay.
Right? And if you get that one early enough on a 3-day game, obviously that's 9 points. And it's not even counting the fact that these cards also have a point score on them on the back. So this is our way of encouraging people to definitely go heavy on the upgrades because the upgrades themselves will help you get points and they count as points themselves. So the 8 is 4 points, 9 is 5, 7 is 3, and the 5 is 1.
Okay.
So now we're going to draft tourists. Now in day 1, drafting tourists is not particularly complicated, but later down the road, you're going to absolutely want to examine. So everyone has to grab themselves 5 cards.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I will draw 5. Take. Draw 5.
We are hoping to have every one of these have a different tourist image. So it's not the same 2 tourists every single time.
I like it though. I like that. Who did the art on this?
So the artwork is done by a guy out of North Carolina. His name is Nick Greenwood. He's a Hugo-nominated artist. I've actually worked with Nick for almost 15 years now. I think about 13 years. He does all the illustrations for my D&D book. So it was quite a different change of drawing dragons and elves into drawing this kind of pastel color palette, which is was a very interesting challenge for him because he had to change his art style.
It's nice. I like the look of the people, but I also like the backgrounds. And the thing that stands out the most are the grapes. The grapes, just the light colors on the grapes.
The issue with Tabletopia,
watercolor.
That was definitely the feel. Although they are a little washed out in Tabletopia, they're a bit more vibrant than the physical product, actually. So I'll go over the cards really. So these guys all have individual requirements on what they want. So you can see some. So when you see a glass, that's a tasting. A piece of bread is a pairing. A cheese is a cheese. That seems pretty straightforward. The camera is a view action, and the carts are purchases. Each of those relate to one of these actions up here. So if you look at the board, you can see identical symbology. So it stands to reason that if you move your vehicle onto one of these actions, the resources you gain are for tourists to have those exact same symbols.
Okay.
Right? So it's kind of like set collection. The only difference is that every time you get your tourist, every tourist has a different arrangement of what they want for points. Now, in the case of tastings, I'll grab a tasting card here. Tasting cards only give you an image because you never want the same tourist to have the same bottle. So that's the first rule. If you assign a tasting to a card, that card must be different than any other tastings there.
Okay.
That's right. And the cheese operates exactly the same way.
Okay.
All right. So if you have 2 cards of a tasting, then this guy automatically has 5 points. And you can see this tourist on the left hand can go all the way up to 15 points if you maximize his card. To do that is going to be very difficult, especially on the first day. Cheese operates the same. The view token's a little different. The view token, you actually roll a die, and the die is over here on the right-hand side, and you roll, and you gain a certain number of tokens based on the die roll. You can get additional tokens up to 4 by spending prestige, which is kind of our currency. Back.
All right.
All right. So we said cheese and tastings are about the same. The difference is tastings give you more points. Tastings can give you more prestige, but tastings cost an hour where cheese only costs a half hour.
Okay.
So tastings are the one action that takes an hour. The cheese, the view, and the purchase actions all take a half hour. So
it takes away from your day.
Precisely.
Okay.
So with the purchase.
Does the day last the same amount of time for the round, or if someone chooses
someone can end
cheese and someone chooses wine, do we move ahead?
Yes, so every time you do an action, you move across this time clock on the upper right-hand side of the board. So if you do a lot of tasting actions, you'll end your day before a lot of other people. But because the furthest person who's earliest in the day goes first, you're not waiting. It's always going to be everyone's going to catch up, basically.
Okay.
So the purchase symbols, you notice that they don't have a point system on them. That's why you actually pay prestige in order to get them. So you draw 2 cards from a purchase deck, and you can pay prestige, and the prestige is listed on the bottom. And the points are actually on the top right, which match the number of bottles on the card. So if you buy this 5-cost card, you'll get 6 points, and there's 6 bottles in the box. If you get this 3-cost, there are 4 bottles, and it gives you 4 points. And you would attach them just like you would any other card.
Okay.
That being said, if you're going to do a purchase action, you better make sure that you have the prestige
to purchase it. Okay.
Yeah. Now, that being said, this guy can have 2 boxes attached. This person can have 2 boxes attached, and this person can have 3 boxes attached. So those are the 3 decks, and we said the view does it via rolling the die. The view gives you the lowest points, but you can get the most tokens from a single action. So on your turn, you'll find a spot ahead of you, and you'll plant your guy there, and you'll do that action, which costs time. And then you'll get the resources, and you can assign them to any tourist you want in any combination, just as long as with the cards, you don't put the same card on the same guy. And you want to make sure you want to try to get as many people satisfied as possible in order to maximize their points, which means, especially in the first day, you might not want to get 4 tourists because the chances of you satisfying them all fully is slim to none.
Okay.
To do that, you would definitely want to pick up some of these upgrades. And even then, depending on the situation, you may not feel confident. You may still do 3 tourists by the end of day 3. You can go up to day 4, but I've noticed in my test games, people who go 4 tourists every single day, they're the last in the points, because the people who buy the upgrades generally rip past them in the last 2 days. So now our player boards don't tell you a specific strategy. So you in this first day, you can basically pick whoever you want. That being said, you got to be kind of thinking ahead about where you're going to go that day and how many resources you think you can get. Now, this early in the game, you wouldn't want to have all 3 of these purchase tourists, because the chance of you having the money to buy all of these is going to be pretty slim. So the other thing I'll mention here, of course, is the pairing. The pairing is the piece of bread. There's only, I think, 8 spots on the whole board for pairing. So they are limited. This is a full pairing, a full sit-down tasting pairing with food, usually a charcuterie. This takes 2 hours. It eats up the most time. But you get a pairing symbol for every single person. So if you had 3 guys and all of them had the pairing symbol, you get a token for each guy. So you'll only ever need to do a pairing once. Okay. Not only that, if you look at the time clock, the closest you do your pairing to 1 o'clock, the bigger the prestige reward. So if you get your pairing exactly at 1 o'clock, you will get 8 prestige. So that's one thing to consider. Now, if you don't have any tourists to have a pairing, you can skip that, but then you don't get that big injection of prestige.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I said, this is one of those games that unless someone plays and really shows people how to play, if you go in blind, the experienced player will destroy you. So, I would definitely suggest going with a 2-row because I'll also mention the fact that if you don't have any assets on a row of a tourist, you will incur a penalty. So you want to make sure that they are as satisfied as possible. So in the case of me, I'm going to grab this one view and this one pairing, and I'm going to move up to the top left-hand side. So everyone picks one card, and they attach it to their a vehicle, which could be atop it or below it, depending. Now, if you decide you don't want one of these tourists, this is a draft, so we are going to shift our hands to the left, to the right, and so we'll get a chance to choose from the other player's hand. But if you decide you don't want any of those tourists, or if you feel you have enough tourists, you want to discard the rest, you can discard your card to the tourist discard deck, and you'll gain 3 prestige. This is one way of generating currency. If you have less tourists, you'll get more prestige at the beginning of a day. Right? So you can see, Red, you've gotten a tasting and a pairing. That's a good choice for a start. And it seems like everyone's picked the first card. Okay, so at that point, you'd want to hand off your cards to the person on your right. There you go.
So we hand you.
And then the right player would go all the way to me.
We give these to you, and then.
And then you have the choice of picking one of these cards, or you can discard it for prestige. And I am going to go with the favor. Now, I'll go into the other symbol here in just a second.
Yeah.
I'll hand that off to you.
So you went with 2 cards, correct? So
yeah, so I'm on my second card. You have to have at least 2 tourists attached to your vehicle at the beginning of the day.
So I'm not going to take a card. So that means I get to take the prestige right now.
Yeah, well, you have to select one of those 4 cards and then toss it.
But you gave me something I didn't want. Oh, I can toss it? Sweet.
Yeah, so you discard it, and you discard it to the discard pile, and then you grab 3 prestige from the far left bag.
All right, 3 from the far left. So take 3.
And then you hand the remaining 3 cards to the person on your right.
So what do we do with these 3?
They go to.
You continue the draft. You hand the cards to the next person, and you continue this process until you're down to your last 2 cards.
But if we just want to stay with 2...
Yeah, then what you'll do once you get the extra cards, you can discard 1 and gain the prestige. Like for me, I'm probably going to stick with 2 cards as well. So I'm going to take one of these cards and put it in the discard pile, and I'll get 3 prestige.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to take these and move them over.
No.
I've got some cards for you, Daniel.
Okay, hold on a second.
So we take 4 prestige.
3 prestige for every discarded card.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a prestige hanging out of the bag, just in case anyone wants one.
Uh-oh. I'll take it. Just give it to me. I'll take whatever you got. That sounds good.
Why can't we grab that? Grab. There we go.
All right, there you go. There's your 2 for you and for me.
Okay,
Merry
so
Christmas.
And this one goes over here.
Yep.
Oops.
I got it. So in these last 2 cards, one of them you discard. You don't get the prestige for the 5th card because that's just an extra option.
But
so
I
I'm going to
4th though, right? So
yeah. So you discard your 4th card. Let's put these on here properly so the deck forms up. There we go. And
what in the world? The bag moved on me.
I know.
The bag move? It's
not locked.
Oh, that's weird. I can't seem to move it. All right. So then I'll get 3 prestige. So we all have 6 prestige.
All right. Nice. I've got 6 prestige.
And then you discard your final card. So if you is blue going to have 2 tourists or 3?
I'll have 2.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go into this upgrade row here. So the upgrade row is listed from right to left, and we have a couple of options here. And there's it's similar to some other games like Century Spice Road. If you want to get the car on the far right, the cost in prestige is right listed on the top: 5 prestige, 7, 8, 9. Okay. If you want to get any of these, though, you have to put a prestige token on every rightmost card. So if you want this 7, it's going to cost you 8 because you have to put a prestige on this one. If you want this 9 card, you have to put a prestige here, here, and here, which means it's going to cost you 12.
Okay.
But it also makes these things a bit cheaper. Now, if these cards shift down, the tokens stay because you put them above the card, not on top of them. And every day we add more prestige to make them all cheaper. That make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we add prestige to make them cheaper.
So you want to use prestige to buy them, but when you play a prestige, so when you buy an upgrade like this 7, you got to put 1 prestige on the rightmost card.
Okay.
Right. So you spend 7 prestige to buy this, but then an 8th prestige you put on the number 5 card, therefore making it 4 instead of 5.
Okay.
Make sense?
Those are in order.
Do you take the prestige when you buy it?
You can do one of two things. You can take the prestige when you buy it, but then you're paying the full 5. Or you can just discard that prestige and pay for it. It equals out to the same thing. But you're not paying for it and then getting a prestige. The prestige that's on the upgrade is a discount on the cost of the card.
Okay.
All good?
Now, those are in order 5, 7, 8, 9. Are they always in order? Or is that
No. I just drew.
Okay.
I could throw these back in and shuffle. I'll shuffle them again right now.
And so this one is.
Well, go through them quickly. These ones here, the one on the right, costs 5, gives you 1 point at the end of the game, as you can see there. And you can spend 3 prestige to remove a lock token. I'll explain the fact that once you do an action, you're locking it out for the rest of the game. And that function allows you to remove a token by spending 3 prestige, which allows you to do actions. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, especially on day 1, but on day 3, you will see a good chunk of this board being locked out. So this one, when you do a cheese action, you can attach 2 cheese cards instead of 1. It's very good if you're doing a lot of cheese. The 8 gives you a +1 action token, and we already talked about this 9 one. You can spend 2 action tokens to give yourself 3 points, which is definitely a good idea for the red guy because he's got 4, which means he can do it twice per turn.
Now, what in the other playtesting? What's kind of the average score?
So far, the average scores have been between 104 and 120. We hit 130 once.
Okay.
Only one time in like our first game did somebody have under 100. So like our last game, all 3 players were over 100. In a 4-player game, one guy was like 95, and the other guy was like 112.
Okay.
Okay. So like I said, on an action, and I'll show you how I do it here. You would move forward from your starting position, which we'll do in a second. You would grab a lock token, and we can see in the bag, so we can see the lock tokens. In some cases, in the same bag with the chip. For example, this view token right here is double-sided, so it could be a lock token or a view token. The same thing with the pairing. So if I was doing this cheese action, I would grab a cheese token, put it on there, put my vehicle on top of that, and I would do a cheese action. Now, that action card stays there, so on the next day when we start over, that is not going to be an option.
Okay.
Although you can still do the tasting that's available there.
Just not a pairing with the cheese.
Yeah, so you can't. Yeah, exactly. So you can't do the cheese, but you can do the tasting on this winery. Now, as I said, you can move forward, but you can't move back. So if you go to this winery here, you can't go to this winery until the next day. That seems pretty straightforward, right? And if you commit to a road, you can't switch it unless you're the Hummer, who is a jerk.
Now, you can't move back in that same day or period, like through the 3 days, we cannot move backwards.
Well, no, per day. So on the first day, you're going from left to right. You end at the town of Naramata, and then we restart the day, and then you're back doing the same set of rules.
Okay.
So we restart back to the beginning. Only now there's going to be less of the board that's locked off.
Kind of reminds me of how Parks plays, where you move. You kind of want to go ahead so that you get things first at the same time as you don't want to miss certain things. So. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Now, every winery here has 2 spots, and they're all a little different, with the exception of the signature wineries. Now, these signature wineries have a couple of things. A, they have 3 actions. Ignore the 4th, because that 4th is only for 4 players, so that won't be accessible. And you'll see these bottles. Now, you'll notice that there's a bottle action. This action costs 1 hour. And when you do that, you get to get one of these bottles. You get to keep one of these bottles. You gain 3 points automatically. And every single time you land on that same winery in further days, your total actions are reduced by 30 minutes. So you have 2 benefits. A, you can do any number of actions there you want. So on this white one here, which I know is a winery called Ruby Blues, you can land on this bottle action right here and do both the cheese and the tasting, and you would take 30 minutes off both of them. So it would be an hour plus 30 minutes. 90 minutes minus 30 minutes is an hour. So you can do both the cheese and the tasting for only 1 hour. So that makes these wineries a lot special. Not only that, but this bottle symbol is the only symbol on the board that never gets locked out, which means you can always do that action unless another character is there.
But if someone goes there and does the cheese or the wine, then you go there the next day. You can't do those. You can still do the.
Yeah, even if they're locked out, because this one gives you a benefit. Now, the first round you get the bottle, you don't get to do that action. It's only in subsequent turns does it allow you to do that. So it's definitely a good idea in days 1 and 2 to score some of these bottles. It definitely makes your efficiency later on a lot easier. Plus the fact that if a whole bunch of options are locked off, you can still do that option, which doesn't get locked off, so you'll always have access to them. Now, the other thing I'll show you about these is this little thumbs up symbol. You notice that every action has a thumbs up symbol on there. You'll notice a couple tourists might actually have a thumbs up symbol. Your guys' don't. Mine does. That means if you do any action, you gain one of the tokens from the thumbs up bag. That means this tourist wants to go to one of these signature wineries. It doesn't matter which action they do. So that doesn't cost you any time. You just get one of those tokens automatically because it's a free action. Effectively, it scores the fewest points, but it's an extra point scoring opportunity.
Okay, so a thumbs up automatically means a point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which action you do. It could be the bottle symbol, the cheese, or the tasting, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So
let's do this.
So starting with the day, you notice that there's 2 starting areas. Since I'm the first player, I will pick an area, and I'm going to look at my guys. I can see that I have 2 guys that want view. Nobody wants cheese, and you'll notice that the top area has more cameras, and the bottom area has more cheese. So I'm going to pick this as my starting area, and then red, you have tastings and pairings, so you can go to either starting area you choose, and then blue will have to pick the other one.
I'm going to go here. Boom.
Okay, so blue, you can pick any spot. You can go on mine or you can go on red. Now, you have a cheese, so you might want to do the cheese or...
I was saying we need cheese and pairing, so we can just go there.
Yeah, so that's...
I'm going to let you get the cheese? No way, Jose. No, I don't have cheese.
Right, but who wants cheese and bread?
Remember, there's 7 signature wineries, so there's definitely enough to go around. Now, that being said, there's only 2 each, and this is a 3-player game, so I'm going to remove...
Hey, Chelsea. Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
All that wine.
3-player game.
Oh. Would you like some cheese with your wine, sir?
Okay, so I will be going first, and of course, me being who I am, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to grab the black bottle. Now, because of one of my tourists actually wants a favor, I'm going to grab a favor token, and I'm going to put that on my card right next to the favor symbol, and he can have up to 4. So if I get a chance to visit all 4 wineries, it'd be really awesome.
Nice.
But unfortunately, that's my only action. Now, thankfully, that gives me 3 points. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Now, I still my turn because you can buy an upgrade at the beginning of your turn or at the end of your turn. You can't do it during your action. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 of these action discs. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'll spend an 8. I'm going to put the 8 on here, and I'm going to pick up this cheese card. So that one's going to stay there. These ones scroll down, and I'm going to grab another one. And oh, this one's a really good one. This allows you to play 2 tasting cards. Very expensive, but it's very, very rewarding if you play your hands right.
All right.
Okay, so that's the end of my turn. I have gotten the bottle. I still haven't satisfied any of my people except for this one little token. So I've gotten 1 point from that action, which is kind of lame. Okay, so red...
Where he was having his thumbs up, that doesn't cost you any time, correct?
Well, that token doesn't cost me any time, but to get this bottle cost me an hour, which means, of course, I'm going to move my little meeple up to 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So now red's the next person to go, so you can pick.
I'm going to go for the wine tasting.
The tasting or what are the cheeses is definitely not a bad idea for you. Because you have both cheesing and tasting, and
I have pairing and.
Oh, no, blue has the cheese. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm sorry.
I mean, I could really mess with blue. I mean, I could be that cutthroat and just do that, but I don't.
Yeah. Although if you lock out, if you lock out that one, they can still go to the other wineries.
Yeah. So I will go here where the wine is.
Yep. So you would grab one of those lock tokens from the tasting, which is right here in the purple bag. Right. Cover that puppy up, and then put your meeple on top.
My little Jeeple. It's a Jeep.
It's a Jeeple. And then so you would at this point you would move your time meeple up an hour. I'll do it for you. So he goes right above me.
All right, and then I get a tasting card. Is that right?
So the tasting cards are right there. You grab 2 of those bad boys.
Nice. Let me just draw 2 so that way it's easier to come to me that way. And I can just play them down on top of this wonderful couple who are...
So you get to play 1 for free. If you want to play the second, you have to spend 2 prestige.
I will do that because they need what? Now, this has 4... This is 4%. What now?
So here's the thing. If you discarded one of those, instead of claiming them, you would get the prestige reward on them. But because you're playing them, you get no prestige reward.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because, I want them to enjoy a nice couple bottles of wine right now. And we've got 2 done right there. Yeah, it's, forget about it. All right, here we go.
So now it's on to blue.
Okay.
I can still upgrade.
So Red, if you want to buy an upgrade, you can.
But it would cost me what 8 prestige, which I don't have.
Yeah.
Now what about these action tokens? So what
action tokens can be used to activate an action if you have an upgrade that has an action, or you can expend them as prestige. So right now you have 8 prestige.
So you could get that, but you use all your action tokens.
Well, no, because you would still have to put a token on this one. So technically, this 8 card costs 9. This 9 card costs 11.
Okay, so when it moves down, if someone picks up that 5, then it would move down and it would just be 8.
So
the 8 will become 8. The 9 will still be 9, but it'll come down from 11 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any upgrades. I don't feel like
you get your action tokens back each turn.
At the end of each day, at the beginning of each day.
Oh, at the end of the day.
Okay. So it's good for me to have them right now.
So I only get these. I only have these 3 action tokens to use the entire day.
And then we get day 2. You'll get them back.
Okay.
Like I spent all of mine because I don't have any upgrades that require them. So.
Okay. So. Okay. What is my little special thing do?
So your special thing is that when you want to do a pairing action, you don't have to go on one of these pairing spots. You can just do it right on the road.
Okay.
Because you're a Volkswagen. You're a hippie. We whip out the sandwiches from the. This is definitely useful because
where we're at, it doesn't matter where we're at. We're just.
Yeah, exactly. You put it in the middle of the road so you can place yourself in a position where you have an action you can get to, or if the pairings are locked off, you can just do it on the road and never have to worry about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here and do the cheese.
So you get the cheese.
So
did they come out with like a new version of the Volkswagen?
So that takes me half an hour.
They did, and I want one.
So now I'll lock out
the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, you put the cheese that thing on that token.
You put the lime on the coconut.
Not the whole bag.
Which is weird because I definitely locked them. I don't know why they're getting. That's very weird.
We'll blame Daniel.
I'll lock that and.
Okay, so I put that on there.
Yeah. Black bag actually shows in the look. So you grab 2 of the cheese cards, and the exact same thing applies. You can play 1 for free. You can play the second if you spend 2 prestige, and if you don't and you discard one of them, you gain the prestige reward on it.
Okay, so I'd grab.
Sorry,
wait.
You're on camera now.
Is this
right here?
Are these the cheese? Oh, here.
That's what.
Yeah. So draw 2. Yeah, draw 2 of those. Yeah.
Just drop them on the wall.
Okay. So and then I flip them over.
What'd you get for cheese? Did you get anything good?
So 2 different cheese. You got yourself a Gouda and a Gorgonzola.
Okay.
So you can play 1 for free. Now, if you decide to only keep 1, you'd want to discard the Gouda because that gets you 2 prestige. If you want to play them both.
Doesn't matter which one it is. We just need to get. Our goal is to give them 5 different kinds of cheese by the end of the day or the end of the game.
By the end of the day, because at the end of this day, you have to trade all your tourists in.
Okay. So I do that.
Do both, or do you want 2 prestige?
Then what do we use prestige for? Is that just to buy upgrades?
So you can spend 2 prestige to play the second card, or you can spend prestige. Prestige will also affect the die rolls of view actions, and you also spend prestige to buy the purchase cards, which are these things.
Okay. Here, we'll discard that and get 2 prestige. Okay. And then
And now you
And
have
then we can purchase. Now
you
there's
have
already
11.
one.
Sorry.
There's already one prestige on there. Does that count as the payment towards
Yeah,
that,
so
or do we
that
have
means
to?
that means this one costs 4 prestige. So you can spend 4 prestige to buy that one.
And what does this do?
So this one allows you, it's not so useful on this day, but on day 2 and 3, you can spend 3 prestige to remove a lock token that you're trying to do. Obviously, it allows you to lock out an action that you want to be able to do, which doesn't seem useful on day 1 and day 2, but I've noticed on day, especially on a 4-player game, a lot of the board gets locked out.
So do I have to use this immediately, or can I use it and just save it? Or can I buy
No,
it
no,
and save it?
the card is just yours. That's
Okay.
a permanent boost. You can spend it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only
So we'll go ahead and
prestige.
get that.
So that costs 4 because you'll gain this one as well. So you'll only have to spend 5 prestige plus the 4 that you have there.
Okay, so we move these back into the bag. And that's so then we just move the cards down.
Yep. So
Yeah,
I'll
right,
move
right.
it down. So now that the upgraded card is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Go
grabbed
ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
You just trying to take more than one card. I see how that is.
I'm
So
trying
we
to
have
be helpful.
another upgrade token has come down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So blue gets to go again because blue only did a half-hour action.
All right. And
Wow.
so
Good
I
job.
got one now. And
So
Okay, does that- how many points does that give us?
you don't score these guys until the end of the day. I got 3 points automatically because of the bottle, because the bottle is the only thing that gives you.
okay. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So now we do another action. So now I go somewhere else.
Yep, so you can't go where red is, even though there's a cheese action free. You can't go to that winery,
Okay.
but because it's the first day, you can basically go anywhere you want.
What does the other person want?
The other
I
one
didn't see.
person wants wine.
Wants wine. Okay, and bread.
With the bread. you
Red is a
want to
2-hour
do
action, but you definitely want to wait until lunchtime
Okay.
to do your
We'll
pairing.
just do the cheese there then.
We can't do the cheese there.
No, the one
Yeah.
you're next to.
Yeah, we'll do that. Where's
So,
yeah, so we do that.
and that's another 30-minute one. So that's
Yep, so that'll
that's a
put
full time.
blue up and behind red. I got that for you.
Okay. And we
We
Oh.
take 2 cheese curds. He keeps dropping them. What do we get? What do we got?
You got some sort of fancy. Is that blue cheese?
That is that's not blue cheese. I do believe that is brie.
that
Yep.
looks like brie. That looks like
It looks like
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
I can't see the second card though, which is very weird.
Really?
No, neither can I. Hide in
Can
your
you see
cheese
it
from
now?
does that help?
Are we flipping it?
No, I just see one cheese card, which is the
The brie.
yeah.
That's
But yeah.
weird. The other one looks like Parmesan, so it looks like a wheel.
So we put that there. You want to just go ahead and give them all?
Yeah, let's just give them all, and then we can move on to.
So then we do that, pay 2 prestige to give them.
Well,
Yep,
wait, there was
so-
only 1 prestige on that one card. There was
No.
only one-
Remember that prestige is a reward. It still costs you 2 prestige to place a card.
Oh, okay.
So the first card was free. Second card is going to cost you 2 prestige.
Okay.
So since you have 3 cards, even though I can only count 2, that you're already at 5 points for that cheese.
Okay, so do we go ahead and move up 5 points?
Oh, you don't do that until the end of the game.
Oh, that's right.
No,
Okay.
until the end of the day.
Okay. And we.
So black, it is my turn. So I haven't done much. I can see I have a lot of views to do. Now, if I was smart, I should have done the view first because nobody's on my road. But I didn't think so far ahead. I see favors. I have pairing. I don't want to do a pairing yet. So I'm going to go to start doing my view. So I'm going to do this right here.
Now, can you stay at the same winery, or do you have to go to?
No, you always have to move forward. So I couldn't stay at that winery. So I'm going to grab this die. I'm going to roll it. I'm going to see 2. I can spend up to 2 tokens. I don't have any money. So I don't get to get extra tokens. So I'm going to get 2 view tokens. I'm going to grab 2 of them. I'm going to place 1 on this card and the other. Whoops, sorry, I grabbed a pairing instead. There we go. 1 view token on this guy, the other view token on this guy. And so that is my action, which costs a half hour. I'm going to move to 12:30, and it's Red's turn.
Okay. So I could do a pairing right now, correct? Or would that be one?
You could do a pairing. Yeah, you would gain 6 prestige. You can't go to that location because it's occupied by blue. You can go in front of me if you want.
All right, I'm going to go over to here then.
Yep. So pairing gets locked out like everything else. I'll grab the token for you. There you go.
Thank you.
So you'll gain immediately 6 prestige.
Okay.
And then that one guy, you have one guy here, he gets a pairing token just like this. You put that on there, and that tells me that that's satisfied. That's 2 points you'll get at the end of the day.
All right. So I get how many prestige though?
You get 6 prestige because that's where you're at.
Nice. 6 prestige. Boom. Okay, and then I could possibly upgrade now.
Yeah, so you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Definitely not a bad idea to score that 9 cost. It only costs you 10, 6. If you spend all your prestige, you can get that 9 cost point card.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the points.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea.
Boom.
So not only is that card worth 5 points at the end of the game, you can spend 2 action tokens to get 3 points, which you can do at any time.
I need to put a prestige on top of this one, right? Since I did that. Correct.
Yeah. Now, if you want, you can activate it right now and just get 6 points.
Let's just do it. So I just put 2 of these on here?
Yeah, actually, you want to put all 4 because that'll get you 6 points.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's why that's especially better for you because you actually have 4 tokens. So yeah, then you move up your
off me, blue. Go over there.
Hey.
6 points, you go to 11.
Boom. I'm at Spinal Tap level, folks. I turned it up to
11.
You're broken, you don't have any tokens, but it was definitely also you move up 2 hours. So you move up to 1 to 2 o'clock. So you're gonna be out of commission for a little bit because it's blue's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we go
there, and then we have all that to ourselves.
Yeah, well, the jerk and the Hummer can cut across. But,
Oh, that's right.
so if we go here,
We get the bottle.
we take the bottle.
Oh no, you only get the bottle if you do the bottle action at the top. So if you do the tasting, you can't do the bottle. If you do the bottle, you can't do the tasting.
What do you want to do?
Okay, but we have a tourist that needs a bottle action, correct?
No, that's a tasting action, which is a glass action. So you
okay.
can either do the tasting action, but then you can't do the bottle action. If you do the bottle action, you'll get the bottle. You'll gain 3 points, but that'll be it for your day, for your turn.
Hold on.
And that costs an hour?
That costs an hour to get the white bottle. Yep.
You want to go ahead and get the bottle?
Well, hold on, Scoops. I cannot see. I need to change my contacts. I can't see.
That's it. That'll put us at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, and then
Then we can do that. Yeah.
then we can do this here
We can do
and
it
do the
anyway.
pairing.
We can do it anyway. Okay, so we'll do the bottle action.
All right. So you would move up to the bottle action. You grab the white bottle, get 3 points. I'll move you up. You'll be right behind me, and I'll move your token up to 1 o'clock.
And then that's our whole turn?
That is your whole turn, but that's hopefully on day 2 and day 3 you can get to the white bottle and do more actions for less time, which would be definitely a good idea.
Okay.
So now it's on to black. It's my turn. What do? I shouldn't do a pairing. I could do a view token. There's a view token right in front of me. That's only a half hour, and because red won't move for a little bit, I'm going to do this token right here. Move there. I'll go a half hour just behind him, and I'll get the die. Roll that. 2 tokens again. One of these days I'll get a 3. And once again, I'm going to put, let's see, what's this one max out to? 12. So I'm going to start loading up this way here. So that's it for me. I got my half an hour action. It is now back to blue.
Okay, so we need to do a pairing, which we can do.
You can do on the road, but you don't have to. You can actually lock out this location because it is open.
Okay, so we can do that. That doesn't hurt us. It just hurts you guys in the future for your options.
Basically, yeah, you can start doing a whole bunch of. You can do the pairing now and lock it out. And
Wait, that's wrong.
Oh,
Where are we at here?
I got it for you.
Okay,
there you
so
go.
we do that, and then
you move up 2 hours, so you go to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Wow.
And you
geez,
gain and you
time
maximize your
flies when you're having fun.
yeah. You maximize your prestige. You get 8.
Okay.
So time flies when you're drinking.
I've got to move this puppy down.
I thought it slowed down.
Oh, it
All right.
feels like it's slower, but then you realize it's 7 o'clock. You're completely hungover, and you're like, "Oh man, how much wine did we? How much did we drink, and how much did we buy? Oh, we bought about 5 cases. Oh wow, how many have we drank? 3. Okay, sounds good.
2 for tomorrow.
And then, so now we just wait. Or
You want to buy that +1 upgrade. It costs only 7.
You don't really need it. You don't want it.
I think
Do
we
you want
should.
to get that?
I think we should.
No, you don't. You don't want it.
Yeah, we'll get that.
I need to come back and grab that one. Oh, there's a prestige hiding behind the bag.
You can give that to me. I'll take it.
There's another one. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Jack.
There's a bunch of them over there.
Okay, so
I think they're all mine. So if you want to just give me all those prestige, I'll take them. And I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to argue about it. I will be glad to have
This
them.
guy moves down. This guy moves down. This guy moves down. And now we are seeing, oh, this one. This one is whenever you do a pairing, you get +5 prestige.
Oh.
Relatively cheap card because obviously you gain prestige by paying prestige. But if you get that one early enough, then obviously gives you a lot. Plus, there's also a card that gives you 9, always 9 whenever you take it. So you can take the pairing at 11 o'clock. It gives you 9. You combine this too, and you get 14 prestige when you do a pairing. Okay, it's on to black. It's me. And I'm going to go with the white action to get the red bottle.
Oh, we need a. So I need to put one of these action tokens here.
Yes, yep. So you move that onto your jackpot. And that
I
costs.
still hang on to this because this gives me points at the end of the game.
Yep, that card is always there because you flip them over at the end of the game to claim points. Exactly. I'm going to get a favor token for that dude. And that is it for me. I'm 1 hour. I'm just behind Red. Red, it is your turn.
All right, I am back. So we were having a blast. We were doing the pairing. Everything was going really well. I don't know what you all were doing. We were having a good time. We were, living it up. I was drinking with my tourist. I mean, it's okay that I'm drinking, right?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to drive just a little bit down the road. It's okay. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. I feel like I want to go for another wine tasting. But you know what? I'm going to go here. Boom. Time for a little tasting.
I'll get your lock token for you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. All
And
right.
that costs you an hour, so you go right behind blue.
Okay. And I will flip this over, and that looks wonderful. It's got a nice finish to it.
2. So you notice that you can't place that one on the left, guy. It's exactly the same bottle as there. So you place it in there. Where's your second card? Did you?
I didn't take a second card. I need to.
You always take a second card. Now, unfortunately, you have no money, so flip that puppy over. So I would discard that one because you get you 4 prestige.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, should we have put something on this card or on one of our cards and we did a pairing?
Oh yes, put a pairing token on each one of those dudes.
You put it applies to everybody.
Yep.
It's a token, not a card.
Yeah, just the tokens right out of the the middle bag there.
Okay, and then this one I'm going to put away in the discard pile, and I'm going to get some prestige. Draw 4. Nice.
Okay, so I need to do a pairing myself now because I actually have 2 guys that want it. So I'm going to jump all the way to 4 o'clock, and I'm going to move to this action here. Put it over.
Question. Could I spend my prestige right now and just move up more points?
Well, no, you can't. That action is for spending action tokens, not prestige.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I was kind of hoping that I could.
That would be crazy.
That'd be awesome.
I forgot to get my 3 points when I got that guy. So,
all right, you already moved me up. Yep, sweet.
And I'm getting my pairing. And this one was at. I got 6 prestige, which is not much. So 6 prestige for me for doing my pairing. I'm now way behind. Blue is up next.
Okay. We're going to do a tasting.
Go, Blue, go.
We'll just go here, do this tasting here.
Yeah. Where's the tasting thing?
So that's an hour action. I'll move you up the clock.
Okay, so we do that, and then we take 2.
Right there, that one. Can you see both these cards this time?
Yep. So you can discard the port to get 4 prestige, or you can play both of them.
I think we should play both of them.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay,
just pay 2 prestige.
2 prestige. You have the money now. At this point, since you don't have anything that spends action tokens, you can spend your action tokens instead for currency because you'll get them back at the next day. It's a very smart forward strategy because it saves your money.
Okay, so where do we just set these
Yeah,
off?
Set those on the side. Okay.
Jackpot, exactly right. There you go.
Okay.
Like I'm giving advice. You're going to lose this game at this point.
That's okay.
Ed, it is your turn.
All right, it's my turn. I'm going to go for some more wine tasting because, I mean, why not? It's wine.
Exactly. There's a tasting right in front of you, and actually a tasting in front of me.
Let's see here. I'm going to go right here.
Yeah, I'll get the lock token for you. There you go.
Thank you very much, sir.
1 hour. Puts you behind blue.
I'm going to draw 2. And I'm going to put them out. Ooh, look at this. I've got some more wine. Oh, yeah.
Now, those look identical.
They do. And one of them gets me more prestige. And you know what? I'm tempted to get both because I do want to get this.
Yeah, you're reaching end of day, and if you don't have to satisfy a customer, you only need one asset, whether it be one card or one token. If you don't have anything, you incur a penalty. That penalty compounds across multiple tourists. So let's say you had 3 tourists at the end of the day, a total of 3 lines weren't satisfied. The first one's -1, the second one's -2, and the third one's -3. So 3 unfulfilled requirements is -6 points. So that can really kill you.
I want to at least have something so they're happy.
Exactly. So you only have one missing requirement, which is to buy purchase. Now you only have 2 money now, so which means only 2 cards in that entire deck cost 2. All the others cost 3 or 4 or 5. So you might need to get some more money before you try to do this action. That makes sense?
Yeah, I got to find something that I need to do.
Now there is another hidden action. I'll tell you now because now it's an option. It's called the pit stop. To do a pit stop, you pick any winery in front of you. You put a lock token down. You don't activate that action. You roll this die, and you gain an amount of prestige equal to the roll +1. And it costs 30 minutes.
So I could do that right now? Or?
Well, you'll do it on your turn because you used your hour action. Now it's my turn.
So what is how does the time work? When we get to 5, are we done?
Okay, so at 5 o'clock, the wineries close. This is true. They all close at 5 o'clock. However, they will stay open if you go there past that day. So you cannot activate an action at 5, but let's say you do a tasting at 4:30 that takes you to 5:30. You'll take a penalty for going into the red, but you can complete that action. There is a card here, by the way, in the upgrades that allows you to close at 6 o'clock without a penalty. The Tesla also gets that. The Tesla can stay because Teslas are better than anyone because they're electric. And so people who drive electric cars are just simply better than everybody else.
So what's the penalty?
So it's -2 points for every half hour past 5 o'clock. So if you end the day at 5:30, you take -2 points, which it depends, might be worthwhile, especially on a tasting. So in the case of red, you have 2 half-hour actions you need. You want to do a pit stop to get a bit more resources, and then do a purchase to get that last requirement fulfilled. And that will take you to 5 o'clock. So you just have enough time to do it. I'm going to go hardcore with viewings because that's all I need now. Or I could be a weirdo and go to orange. If I go to orange, I'll get the orange bottle. It'll end my day, and I'm not going to get a lot of points, but I'm going to be forward thinking. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the orange bottle.
And these wine bottles don't come back.
Nope.
Right. They're just yours if you
so
go to that winery.
Points there. And I'm at another one of those, so I'm going to get another token. So if I couldn't get to a 4th, got to a 4th, then I would get another token. That takes me to 5 o'clock, so I'm at the inner of 5 o'clock. And
favorite token will get you out of how. Oh, you needed favorite tokens, so
I had favorite tokens here as an option. Oh, I forgot to get my I had my pairing action. I forgot to do my pairing tokens. 1, 2. Okay, so that is it for me. So I'm not going to score a lot of points because I don't have a lot of view tokens because I wasted all my time with the bottles. So that is at me at 5 o'clock. Blue is up to you. You can do a half hour or an hour action, or
Yeah, we'll taste some cheese.
so that's that Poplar Grove cheese. That's why they have chew cheese symbols. It's the only location that doesn't have alcohol.
Interesting.
Let's see.
That's
Go
sad.
up here.
We're gonna
Why
go
is there
further
another thing
down.
to yeah, we'll go further down. I don't know. We'll mess with people. We'll block off this cheese for other people.
You block off the cheese.
So we do that. So now we take 2 cheeses.
Jackpot. That takes a half hour. I'll move you to the next spot, and then Red will be able to go.
All right. I'm going to use that special action thing.
Alright.
So good. 2 unique cheeses. You can play them both and spend
Okay,
2
this-
prestige. Good play. Very good play.
So for my special thing, I'm going to put a block token on. Let's put it on a cheese. That sounds like a great idea.
Are you going to do a cheese action?
No, I'm just going to. Well, I can.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna do that.
You can do that pit stop, right?
I'm going to do a
You
pit
can-
stop.
Yeah, you can pick any spot you want and lock it off.
Stop.
All right. Going to go on Therapy, which is the name of that winery.
All right. So I go over to here.
Yep. And then you just roll that little die.
Okay, and here we go. Roll. And I get 2 prestige.
Plus 1, you get 3 prestige.
Oh, nice. Right.
So hopefully that should be enough. That's 5. Statistically, that is. There is 1 card. There are 2 cards in the deck that are 6. Statistically, the chances of you pulling those out are pretty slim.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that was a half hour action. You're behind Blue. So Blue, you have a half hour left to closing time. What do you want to do?
We're
I
going to
think
go
we're
ahead
gonna-
and do a tasting. We'll
Yeah, we're
take
gonna
the
take the
penalty.
penalty.
Which
Oh.
station we want to go to?
Wow.
1 hour to
So-
5:30. And I will
Go.
drop you down in points. You'll go down to 6.
We'll get one of
And they're
these.
absolutely right. The point gain is worth it because they'll gain 1. Could gain up to 4 points, 5 points, 4 points.
We're getting
Yeah, it'll be a.
6.
We'll get 4 total.
Yeah, because of the.
Okay, so do that. Unless
Oh,
we
who just
draw.
moved me?
So
Oh,
are you
Oh,
gonna have information in like the rule book about each winery and?
Yep.
Awesome.
That's going to be really neat. I like that idea.
Yeah, because with the exception of 2 locations, these are all real location.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Blue. Okay, so that winery, for example, that is Daydreamer, which have a very peppery red.
So did we just?
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
Like a nice
did we just
red
hurt
Zappa.
ourselves?
Yeah, in
Oh,
a way.
no.
You can trade this one in and get 4 prestige, though. But yeah, unfortunately, you can
Oh.
That's okay. It's still a 1 point.
yeah, and you still
Yeah.
got
1
4
point net.
prestige.
What'd you get?
Oh, we got
We got
2
2 of the
identical
same wine,
bottles.
but we
But
get
we
4
can-
prestige
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
for turning that one in.
Cool.
So,
So we still
Red,
gained,
um,
gained 3, lost 2.
You get I assume your last action, you want to do a purchase. Then you're on this road. So the nearest purchase is, oh, you just screwed yourself.
Did I really?
Yes, there are no purchases ahead of you.
What
Blue,
about this?
Blue screwed you. Oh, no.
What about? Hold on. What
Wait.
about this? What about
That's
over
on-
here?
No, you can't.
Blue
You're-
screwed you.
You have to
know
be
you
a
were
jerk
doing
in a
that?
Hummer.
Did you know you were locking out the only purchase
Hold on,
action?
hold on,
I
hold on.
didn't.
Can
I
go-
didn't notice that.
I can't go down to here, can I?
No, it's for 4-player option.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
Okay.
Blue just screwed.
I
We
I didn't,
love
but Chris
you.
isn't gonna believe that I didn't know
Oh,
that.
man, see, I told you that
Oh my
it's all friendly until somebody
It's
lost
the
the
dinosaur bone
Have a
all
great
over
night,
again.
Joe. Have a great night, Jesse. Thank you very much for rating the stream earlier.
So if you want, you could do a tasting because you could still get more tasting cards. That'll take you to penalty as well, but at least you might be able to recover some
Let's
more.
get some. Yeah, tasting sounds great.
That'll move you to behind Blue at 5:30. You'll take a -2 penalty down to
Oh.
9.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Where am I going for my tasting? I
Well,
want to
you
go.
can go right here. To
Right there?
yeah.
I'll go there. Then. That sounds great.
I'm trying to move it up winery now.
It's all Daniel's fault. All Daniel's fault.
I didn't know I was trying to screw people later in the game by taking up these end of the road tastings. I didn't realize I was screwing you now.
Yeah. I wanted to screw somebody there, but this is instant gratification.
Yeah.
So messed up. All right. All right.
You have to do your 2 tastings. You have enough prestige, hopefully, if you get 2 different cards. Actually, you don't have to because you have 2 different guys that have tastings. So you can play them both no matter what you do.
I could play this one here. And I will play this one here. And that way I can go ahead and
Oh, they were. Yeah, exactly.
spend my
Too
two
bad they
that way.
weren't, too bad they were not unique cards. You could have maxed out and got 15 points in that one.
That would have been great.
Yeah, because the last scoring is always a bit more. Okay, so I'm at 5 o'clock, so I get to finish first. That means I'm starting the next day in first place. Not first place, but I have to go first. And I'll move my guy to the flag here. So I'm end of day. So theoretically, as I score my guys, you guys can finish your end of day, but you guys are all also end of day.
Yeah.
So we'll just move everyone up to the end point here, and we can tell automatically that blue gets to go next. So blue will be behind me, and then red will be going last. So now we're scoring points, and I'll help you guys out. So with blue, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 or 5 cheese cards?
That's 5. There's 5.
That means you've maximized cheese, and the pairing is 2 points. You get 12 points for this card. And with this one, 1, 2, 3, you have 8 points plus 2 of the tasting is 10. So you got 22 points for this day. Go ahead and give yourself the points, and then you can return all the assets and all the cards. So for red, so right off of that, we know that you did not satisfy the purchase requirement, but it's only one requirement that you've lost, so you just lose 1 point. Not a big deal. If you had 2, it would be a bigger deal. So you can see 3 wines there. It's 8 points. 4 wines here. It's 11 points. So that is 19. 21 points because of the 2 points you get for the pairing. So you get 21 points.
Nice. So I go all the way up to 29.
2, 3,
Oh.
4, 5, 6.
Boom.
7.
Boom.
8, 9, 10. And
Magic.
I get only 12 points. That'll take me to right there, 26. So I'm right behind you guys.
Okay.
So now you can return all your tokens and return your tourists.
Now, do I continue to get the +1 with this, or was that a one-time?
No, those upgrades are permanent for the end of the game.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
So you do get to reclaim your action tokens, and I do believe both of you guys get 4 now because one of you has an upgrade.
What is this last action token for?
That's just for
That's in case you cross 100 points. You can put that token on top.
So you
do we
can
put these wine cards back?
Yeah, you can never have the same upgrade twice. So each upgrade you can only have once.
So you max out at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all these go in the discard.
Yep. Bye pairing token.
Oh, no,
Oh yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting that.
Gotta highlight it till it's orange.
Allison started scrolling around while I was trying to put
I was
away.
using the trackpad and he's over here with the mouse.
Nice. All right, now our people go away too?
Yep, they go into the discard pile there.
Okay. Well, Linda and Jeff, it was a pleasure taking you on your trip today. Michael and Irene, you need to handle your alcohol a little bit better, but I'm glad you paid me more. So there we go. Okay.
All right. So now we would advance on to day 2.
We put the pairing tokens back.
Yep, everything goes back. You should only have your money, your upgrades, and your action tokens back on your board.
Prestige?
Yep, you keep prestige, of course. Now, prestige doesn't equate points. You don't get points for prestige, but they will break a tie if your score is equal to somebody. Whoever has the most prestige wins.
Okay.
That's day 1. Do you go on to day 2?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do day 2.
All right. So everyone wants to draw once again 5 cards out of the deck here. And I'm immediately going to hand you that. Actually, no, we go in the opposite direction on this day. So I give my cards to blue, and red gives his cards to me.
All right, let me see. What do I not want you to have? I'll keep that. I have to accomplish so many tasks if I keep any of these. All right. You know what? I'm chucking it, and I'm going for prestige. Boom. There we go. For prestige, please.
Yeah, and then you hand off the remaining cards to the next player.
All right. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't really want them. There we go. Look at all these beautiful, beautiful gems. My prestige. Nice. Okay.
And there you go. So once again, moving my cards to blue.
I'm just waiting for Daniel to send me something.
Oh, I have to wait for blue to flip their cards over and pick.
All right, blue just gave me something. All right, good. Yeah, I'll take. It's a hard one. I think I'll take that. No. I want to take this one. That's perfect. All right, here you go. I'm going to give you these 3.
Okay. I'm just waiting. Blue has to hand your cards to the left, and then I'll give.
Sorry, I've been muted this whole time. I get 3. How much prestige do I get for discarding?
3 prestige.
3
prestige. The white card the white Evo, who has a limit of 3 tourists, can't have 4, gains 5 prestige when he discards a tourist.
Okay.
Okay, so now I need to pass those 3 to Chris.
And there you go.
Oh boy, it's the cards I didn't want from earlier. Let's see here. Go camera sightseeing. Yeah, I guess I go camera sightseeing, I guess. Better yet, nope. I'm going to pitch it. I'm going prestige again. Drawing 3. I'm going money. Here we go. All right. Taking those 2. Here you go.
Oh.
Cap for me here. Sightseeing.
Are these mine?
I don't know. I guess I will favor in photography or photography and tasting. I think, boom. You can have that one. Or that gets pitched, right? Yep.
That gets pitched.
Okay. I've got my 2 tourists. They look happy. It looks like Melinda.
Do you get anything for prestige at the end of the game?
They will break a tie, but they don't give you points.
Okay.
So I've got Serena and Ike, and it looks like my other guest. They're foreign, so I can't pronunciate their names.
What's this last card hanging out here?
What?
What's this last card hanging out here?
Oh,
I think it's going to discard.
Yep, we'll put that back.
Yep.
So everyone's still sticking with 2 cards. Gotcha. Okay, so now I'm first of the day, so I get to pick the first position.
Okay.
I want cheese, so I'm going to move myself to the cheese position here. Blue, your next position. You have cheese and view, so you can go to either location.
Yeah, I'll go up here.
Okay, and then red, you are you can pick either location because there's only 1 person here.
Okay. Where's blue going? Blue's going over there. Okay. And I'm going to go beep, beep. All right. So my Jeep's not an off-road Jeep. It's like one of those Jeeps that just sadly...
Never. Yeah, exactly.
What a waste of a good Jeep. Like I thought I had like a Wagoneer, but instead I got a Rubicon. Okay.
So also part of the New Day procedure, we're putting a token on each of these guys.
Connected to Chris's Galaxy S10 Plus.
And not only that, now we get to remove tokens. Thankfully, we get to remove tokens. Not as many. On day 2, we can only remove 2 per player. So I'm going to remove this cheese and this cheese.
Cool. I should have gone over where you are then. Okay. All right.
Wait, I thought you went down low.
He changed his mind, apparently.
I'll go down here.
Oh, jeez.
There.
All right. So anyway, so red, you can take off 2 tokens anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off photography. I feel like.
And blue, you can as well.
And what do I have under here? Oh, it's a fresh baguette. Nice. All right.
So I just take off 2.
Yep. On day 3, we take off 3 each, and if we went to a day 4, we take off 4. Day 4, you basically have to have some of these cards that remove tokens, otherwise you're really messed up.
Now, real quick, Chris. Now, if I go wine tasting, can I still be there and then do some sightseeing afterwards? Like
you can't do the same action at the same winery, so you always have to move forward to another winery.
Gotcha. I was curious because I saw something that I like and I wanted to do it.
There is one card here that allows you to do that, and one of the other characters that's a stretch goal can also do that as well. So nice. I'm gonna do a half-hour action right in the day. You might imagine I'm gonna go do a cheese. I'll do a cheese. Boom, boom. Now, I have a cheese upgrade, which means that regardless, I can play both of these without having to spend. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put them both on this guy. Okay. Also, it's also my turn. I'm going to spend the now 8 prestige required. I'm going to move that one back. I'm going to move this 5, and I'm going to snag that one and grab the play 2 tasting cards as well. So this one goes down, this one goes down, this one goes down, and this one comes out to play another one. This one costs 8, and you can take off 3 tokens per day. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay anything for them. You just grab the token, put them there, and you discard the token at the end of day.
Okay.
So that was me and my half-an-hour action. Blue, it is your go.
Good. That's going to mosey on down here. I'll do some sightseeing.
Okay.
Yep. So you put your there on, it costs a half hour, and then you roll the die, and you gain a number of view tokens. I'll move your meeple for you. A number of view tokens based off the roll. Now, you can spend more prestige to gain additional tokens, 1 per prestige to a maximum of 4.
Say that one more time.
So go ahead and roll the die. So it shows 2. You get 2 tokens automatically. You can get up to 4 at 1 prestige each. So if you rolled a 3, you can get a 4th token for 1 prestige. If you rolled a 1, you can spend 3 prestige to get 4, but the total tokens you can get is 4. So if you want, you can spend 2 prestige from your supply, and you have a lot of money here, so you might want to do that and gain 4 tokens. Yep.
And then I just grab 4 of these guys.
Yep. And you can place them however you like. Obviously, all the same guy.
Where they go on the?
Yeah, right on the card. Yeah, okay. Right on the card. All right, Red, your go.
All right, I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go wine tasting first because why not?
Oh.
Vroom, vroom. It's wine time.
You're going to move an hour. I'll move your guy for you. You're at 12 o'clock.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. And let's see here. Ooh, they look nice. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give them to both of my parties. So they're going to be really happy. And I'm going to take that prestige and put it away. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is still 8 right now, but I could spend one of these to get it, but nah, it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, because you want to spend those tokens on this card to get 6 points, remember?
Let's do it right now.
Let's do it right now before you forget. So
now, how do the thumb up things work?
So if you visit any of these signature wineries, regardless of the spot you choose, you get a thumb up token for that guy.
It doesn't cost me any extra time.
It doesn't cost you any extra time. It's a free. That's why it doesn't actually give you a lot of points. So I'm next. I'm going to move up right behind Red. I'm going to do another cheese action. I know it's kind of shocking. And I'm going to draw 2 cheese cards, and I see a Gouda and a Havarti, and I'm going to attach them to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 1 more for that one. 4 for that one. And there's a shock. I'm done. So it is on to blue.
Now, if I do a cheese tasting at a place with a thumb up, can I still give the thumbs to these guys?
You absolutely do, sir. If you move to the white winery, do you have the white bottle? Yes.
Yes, I do.
So what you want to do is actually put it on the bottle symbol. because then you can do the tasting and the cheese is free. You don't.
Okay.
It doesn't cost you extra time. This is the
Do I
benefit.
go here? Do I
Oh, no,
still?
Oh wow.
Here, but close enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So the tasting costs you an hour, and this costs you a half hour, but you take a half an hour off the time, so it's actually only an hour, and you can do both actions.
And I still block both of them off?
No, you don't block them off.
Okay, I don't block them off. Okay.
You don't block them off. You only block them off if you actually do the action.
So I do the tasting and the cheese, and I get a thumb.
Yep, it's definitely a good idea, good action for that.
So I
And,
give the thumb to this guy. Oh, I keep putting the thumb in my pocket.
That's where thumbs go usually.
Okay, and then I take 2 cheeses and 2 wines.
What in the world? Okay.
Please note, this still costs him an hour, so he's going to move over to 12:30.
Okay.
Okay, and then so I
Yeah,
do
you
that.
attach them all. 'Cause it's going to cost you 4 prestige, but you got the money.
Yeah, I do. You can go ahead and put those there.
All right, Red, why don't you head off on your turn?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do my let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do my pairing.
Hey, you'll get 6 prestige for that. I'll get your lock token for you.
So 6 prestige. I'll take 6. Boom. Gonna load up on the prestige, even though it's
1
not
hour. That'll take you to 2 o'clock.
All right. It's gonna be a fairly quick tour with this with these people today. All right. No, I don't need that. Hold on. What's over here? You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a little spending. I'm going to spend. Nope. I'm not going to spend yet. Nope. I know what I'm going to do. Okay.
Okay, for my next turn, I'm thinking I'm going to spend. I'll go onto here. It allows me to do the tasting and the purchase. It only costs me an hour because I get that for free. I'll do the tasting, and I'll do the 2 tasting cards from here. And that's it for that deck. So let me flip that whole deck over, put it back, and shuffle it. There we go. And I get to play both of these. Oh, of course, they would be the exact same bottle. So
Yay.
I'll play that one. I'll move that one back. I'll gain 3 prestige.
I don't understand. This one couple is like you have one couple on this tour with you, and they just don't want wine. What is the deal?
I do get to do my purchase action. I'll draw that. I have a 5 and a 3. I'm going to buy the 5. Put there. That's going to cost me 5. I'm going to move that one.
They're buying a case, but they're not even tasting it.
3, 4, 5.
So what do you get? What do you get for a purchase action?
So a purchase action costs half hour. You draw 2 cards from this purchase deck, and you can buy any number of them, but you have to pay the prestige on them. I only have 1 symbol, so I can only buy 1 card. I drew 2 cards, a 3 and a 5. The 5 gets me more points, so I grab that one instead.
And what do you get? The points are on the card?
Yeah, the number of bottles is the number of points, and it's also on the upper right-hand side as well.
Okay.
Do you have that one?
No, I don't. I don't have
okay.
Okay.
But as you can see, Red has 2 of them, so you might not want to blow so much of his prestige because he's going to have to get 2 boxes of wine. So that was it for me. It's on to Blue's turn.
Yeah.
Do I have?
Well, I can get 2 boxes of wine. I like that idea.
I'm gonna.
Well, you
down.
yeah.
I can't go here again.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. You have to move forward.
Okay, so I'm gonna come here. I do a cheese tasting because that only cost me half an hour.
Okay, I put you right behind me.
Yep.
Now, the way this game works, I have to move forward, even though I can cross the road, but I can't go to this winery. So I actually have to move forward. So to do a pairing, I've got to move all the way up to here. So that's going to be my next action. So I'm going to move up to here and do my pairing. That's going to take me to 3 o'clock. I'm going to get 8. And then I'm going to gain my 2 tokens. So 1 for him, and 1 for him. Blue, have you finished your last turn? I just want to make sure I don't want to overstep.
No, yeah, I did.
Yeah, we're
Okay, so I'm going to check and see if I want to buy a card. Yeah, I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 and buy this card to get me a token. Getting an action token, an action disc.
Can you buy cards before or after you make your move?
You do it before your action or after your action. You can't do it between your action. So at the beginning of your turn, before you take your action, and so forth. So that one's going to move over there. This one's going to move over here. That one's going to move over here. And what do we have coming out? We have, ooh, a +2 to the view roll. Still maxes out at 4, but that's really great if you want to go heavy on view.
So so now it's my turn.
Yeah, your turn again, because both of us have done our pairing actions.
So if I buy this, and then I do a pairing.
Yes. That's a 13 prestige bonus for you, sir. Actually, it only costs you 1 less because of this token here.
Yeah, so that's 5.
Costs you 4. Well, actually, you got to put a token here still, so it does still cost you 5, but it doesn't cost you 6.
I just move this one over here.
Yeah, that basically does it.
Okay.
That one's going to move over there. This is going to move over here, and now we reveal. This one is if you spend an action token, your pairing only costs you 1 hour.
Okay.
And so then, I assume that means Blue is going to do a pairing because he just bought
I'm
that.
gonna do a pairing.
Are you gonna lock out a piece of the road, or are you gonna do it on the road?
No, I'm just gonna chill here.
Okay. So I'll move you up.
I brought sandwiches.
You move just behind me, and it's Red's turn.
And then, so now I get 5.
Oh, yeah, so you get 8 plus 5, so you get 13 prestige for the pairing.
Okay.
Really a lot. Anyway, Red is your go. You can go.
All right. I'm trying to think if I want to purchase an upgrade ahead of time or not, because that.
Now remember, you need to make sure you save enough money to buy 2 purchase cards because you have 2 purchase requirements on these guys. Just FYI, before you blow money on upgrades.
Okay, I think I'm going to go over here, which I don't need the favor. I mean, I don't really need to go to the bottle. I can just go.
Yep, you just do
Chris,
that.
You realize it's 2, and your people aren't drinking that much.
I'll give you a lock token for that.
Sure, I'm drinking for them, so they're okay with that.
Yep.
They're okay.
So that's only a half hour. So you draw 2 cards from the purchase deck.
All
you
right,
you can buy as many as you want. You can spend 1 prestige to draw 1 additional card, by the way. For the
spend a prestige to draw an
no,
additional card.
don't worry about that. Draw the cards first, and then see if you want to draw the 3rd.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You know what? I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to draw another one. I think I can do it.
All right, so draw 3 cards, and let's see if you can. Well, see, actually, yeah. So, you want to go high. You want to get a bunch of really high cards. Let's see what you have.
Let's see where I've got 2, 8, 10.
What's the 3rd? Okay, so not a great draw. You can only buy 2 of them because you only have 2 symbols. So you'll buy the 6th one, obviously, and then buy the 2. So you'll get 7 points for one and 3 for the other, and then the other one will just go back.
All right, 7 points for one and 3 for the other. And I need to spend how many?
10. You are
10.
spending.
Right. But hold on, I'm not keeping this one, am I?
No, you're not keeping that one. So it's just 6. Oh, it's 8. So it's 8. Never mind. I can't do math today.
All good. All right, let me go ahead and spend 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And you get to go again because we all did our pairing, so we're still ahead of you. So you got another action still.
Nice. Okay. Well, you know what? I feel like we've done some good shopping. We've done a little bit of wine tasting. I even did a pairing with these wonderful couples. But I feel like we need to do some photography. I mean, we've got to take a little bit of sightseeing where we are. And I feel like I'm not giving them much of a chance to do that. However, what is it?
So there's one right next to me, and there's one over here as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go right here to this little bottle. And that lets-
you can't do that. You don't have the yellow bottle, so you can't do that.
Oh, I don't have the yellow. Okay, I can't. So now, if I went to the blue bottle over here, though, I can't do it. I would get the bottle, but
you can get the bottle, but you can't do the action. But will allow you to take a half hour off the actions on the last day. So we still have 3 bottles unclaimed.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go for the camera. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to go wine tasting because why not? I've still got a little bit of time. I was already being picked on by Allison that I wasn't wasn't letting these people drink enough.
I'll put your token down there for you. An hour, that puts you right ahead of us.
So I will go ahead. I will draw 2 cards. I didn't mean to deal cards to all of you. Forgive me. Put your other cards back.
I was going to do a tasting action, so I'll just hang on to mine.
Nice.
So since I have the yellow bottle, so I'm really happy you didn't move there, so I can land on here, and I'm going to do the
this one.
I don't need that, but I'll do the tasting at a half hour. Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm at least going to take these 2, and that way I can spend and get both of those cards. I'm looking at least 8 points from this couple. You seem very happy.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did my half-hour action because I'm at my signature, my favorite winery. I don't have any favorite tokens for those guys, unfortunately. And I don't need view. So it's on to Blue's turn.
Okay. I'm going to come over. I can't go here because you're there.
No, can't go there.
Let me see.
Are we just playing the 2 days?
Yeah,
we can do 2 days, or we can do 3. It's all up to you guys.
Yeah, we'll only be able to do 2.
Yeah, we'll only be able to.
All right.
We're heading out into the woods early in the morning.
Oh, you're gonna go hunting?
Yeah.
Hunting for rabbits.
For deer.
A doe, a deer, a female deer.
Hopefully.
Sorry, that's a really old reference. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
it shows you how old I am.
Hopefully not a doe, but
that was the cheese action for you, sir.
Yep.
I will move you right behind red. So red, here go.
All right, sounds great. I'm gonna go for some photography because
token for you.
Thank you. So I get this guy.
So now you can roll your die. 2 once again.
2.
You can spend up to 2 more tokens to get up to 4.
Let's do it. I'm going to spend 2 prestige tokens to get 4.
Okay, there you go.
Why not?
That's a half-hour action for you. It's up to me now. Do I do cheese or do I do tasting? I think I'm going to do another tasting.
4 tokens. I'm going to draw 4 and put them on.
Go.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect.
This is actually very tough. Oh, I grabbed the wrong guy. It's me. So it's still tough. I'm going to do this cheese action here.
Of course you are. You like the cheese.
I like the cheese.
I like the cheese.
Oh, I get no. Oh, no, I have another guy right here. Phew. Put them both there. Good. So that was a half hour for me. It's on to Blue.
Okay, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do some sightseeing.
Half hour action.
So how long have you been working on the game?
About 5 months. The idea, I don't say 6 months. I would say the idea came to me March, April. My last Kickstarter for Ultramodern 5, which is a D&D, sci-fi D&D book, that concluded around May. Kickbackers were getting them in August. So right around the same time, I'm also writing another trio of D&D books that we're going to launch that next spring called Affinity. And so this project's been developed probably since March or April. And we've been prototyping since I would say May, and it's been a rush job because the wineries in Naramata, like all the wineries, have been really, really hurt by COVID. So they were exceptionally incentivized to support us because it's a way of trying to keep the exposure of their wineries. So we're now at a drive to try to get the book the game into stores by next season. Normally, this transfer would take almost a year and a half to get these games out, but we're pushing to try to get this out by next spring, summer.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm done.
Okay, so Red, it's your go. Did you do an action yet, or?
I have not done one yet, and I am super excited because I think I know what I want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and trip out and get some more wine.
Now, can I, if I do a tasting, do I have to keep either of the bottles, or can I sell them both?
You can only discard one to get prestige. You don't have to, like, if you can't do a tasting action, you can still do a tasting action, but you can't discard both. The rules are very specific. You can only discard one card. Because in some situations allow you to draw 3 cards. You can still only claim the prestige on one.
I can't go there for a wine tasting. I can't go there for a wine.
You have these. You have 3 wineries on this road right here.
No, I'm going for this winery right here.
Yep. I want to say that is Elephant Island. That is Elephant Island.
Nice.
Can I do an action that does not, like, that I don't need?
Yeah, you can do an action you don't need. Now, there is another action that you can do called a pit stop, which allows you to gain prestige for just a half hour.
I just want thumbs.
You just want thumbs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can go over here to nickel, the one with the purple, get the purple bottle, get 3 points, and you'll get your thumbs. It costs you an hour.
So I got rid of these. Now I've got these 2, but I can't purchase this one. But I turn this and I get prestige, correct?
You get 3 prestige, exactly. So on my turn, I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to do a tasting. I'm going to circumvent. Of course, I could be mean now that I know you're going to nickel. I could lock it off, but I am not a mean person. I'm just going to go to Legend Distillery and I'm going to do my action there.
Why do I have a token over here? Oh, I took it off my board. Where was I at? I was at 35. Okay.
Okay, so Blue, if you want to, like I said, I don't know if you wanted to do that action or if you had another ID in mind.
So I do that. What do I get for that?
So if you go in here, you'll get the favor token for this guy, and you'll get the bottle, which doesn't do much because we're ending on day 2, but you'll get 3 points. The only issue is that it's an hour long. That being said, if you need to do a tasting, you already have 2 tasting cards and you're maxed out. Only 1 more to max you out, so that might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have maximum cheese.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
So yeah, you could do a tasting to get the last card.
Wait, can I come up? Oh, this is gonna put me at an hour either way. It's gonna end my day.
Yeah. So
but y'all's day is not. Y'all are done.
Yeah.
So I can come up here and do photography for half an hour. So I can come up here do photography
but
for half an hour.
Photography won't get you anything. If you do it,
but it gets me a thumb.
Yeah, it's true.
So I take a thumb, and now you guys are already done. So now I come down here.
That was a half hour to take it. Yeah, that was a half hour to 4:30, and then an hour will mean you'll get a -2 penalty though.
Well, I gain 3 for doing this tasting, and I gain 1, or I gain. What do I gain?
But you can play the last card. You can only have 1 more tasting card here. Steven maxes out at 8 points, so you can put your last one there, and then I would definitely spend your money to get an upgrade because that's just solid points.
Yeah, so I'm going to come here, do a tasting. I'm going to take another thumb.
You can give me your card that you're not going to keep.
And then
that's okay. I'm all for it.
So now I need 2 wine cards.
Okay, so yeah, you can play either one of those, but you can't.
I already have this
one. Yeah, you can't play that one. So
so you
can
trade that in. Exactly right. Oh, look at that. You're experts already.
And then
if they win,
buy one of these upgrades. Buy one of the 8th. Absolutely.
Can I only buy 1?
You can only buy 1 on your turn, but remember, you still have an end of day action, so you technically can buy a second one. So don't worry about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, because that's already there. So that counts.
Perfect.
Holy cow! How'd you get all that prestige?
Oh, I ate lunch in the middle of the road like
Yeah,
a
well,
hippie.
the +5 for the prestige is probably the big winner for you. That gave you 14, and then 8 more.
Wait, no, but hey,
Where you go? I already paid. Good.
watching our prestige walk away.
You know, it's a special action you don't know about that's not
right.
in the game.
So Red, you're done for the rest of the day. So I'll move you on to the end space. Now, technically, theoretically, that would mean you would start first next day.
Okay.
I'm next. I would move next to you, and then I would move here, and then Blue would move. Now, technically, Red, you don't have any money to buy an upgrade. I have 6, which is not enough to buy an upgrade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
so I couldn't buy one, but Blue can still buy one more card. So
You
he's
want
gonna,
that one or that one?
Are the 8s all worth 4?
yeah, these are all worth 4. So yeah, just grab the first one,
Okay.
and then we can all start scoring points. So I'll help you guys out here. So on Red, you've already scored for that card, but you can flip that one over and score for points. Let's do your tourists first.
All
So
right,
1, 2,
sweet.
3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 11. Plus 3 is 14, 15, 16 points for this guy on the left.
All right, so 16 for that one. All right, so that puts you at 51.
Well, then why did you?
The loaf of bread
52 points.
gets you 2. So that's
52
8,
points,
13,
you
so that's 15.
And on your right tourist, you have 1 tasting for 2 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, 6, 7. Plus 7 is 14. So you have 14 points for the right one.
So,
All right, so that puts me at 66.
All right.
10,
Okay.
So Blue's an expert. They're already scoring themselves. They know what's going on.
20,
22, 21,
15, so that's 35,
20,
35,
I did
18,
that to Jared this morning when he was
32,
counting scoops and for my
4,
coffee.
35,
He got mad at me.
7, 3,
39, 49.
3.
He just took
Yeah, I can't hear what
headphones
this.
out.
So I have 49
What? How do you have 49?
because I satisfy my patrons
Whatever.
Didn't drink
and
all their wine.
I upgrade their experience.
Just because you got them drunk doesn't mean that
Let's
you
see,
satisfy
that's
them. Now they're getting behind the
49.
wheel.
So
And it's not going to go well.
So I
I'm
come
at
to 77.
did you score your reverse cards already?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so that's it for all your points. Now flip your
Oh.
card over. You get
Yeah.
another 5 points. So go ahead and add your 5 points there, Red.
Okay, so, all right, so
That is
66,
49 plus 28.
71. Don't they get penalized for being a couple? Don't we cut their score in half?
No, we don't. So I got for this. So I'm at 9, 10, 11, 12 points. So I will go to 71, 72, 73. So that's it. End of day 2. Blue is the winner. And I'm close behind at the 73. And Red is in last place at 71. Pretty close call on this day.
I like this.
So if you were, now,
You
just
know, I said
FYI,
I
if we were to do it
second
day 3, I'm going to flip it over. Day 3, you definitely have a good advantage for prestige, and you also can lock out a lot of tokens, so you can go anywhere you want. However, I have these cards are very, very good for me. So I would probably take 3 guys, and I would probably just do hardcore tastings and cheeses to try to maximize my point for the last day. So it would definitely be a very close fight. Definitely near that end of the day, but Blue would definitely get past 100. I think all 3 of us would get past into the 100 for the
So
last
this
day.
is so you get
So this one allows me to play both cheese cards without having to pay. This allows me to play both tasting cards without having to pay.
okay.
Nice.
So
So
this,
fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
I really
like
yeah,
it.
I enjoy this. I enjoy this because, you know, with viticulture, you're making the wine. This one, you're actually taking them on a tour. And I like
You play
that idea of a
viticulture first,
wine.
and then you play the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Daniel blocks you from going where you want to go.
Hey, you know, we just gotta do.
Yeah.
I
But no, I
didn't
like
mean
this.
to.
This is nice. This is really, really well done. Now, so this hits Kickstarter November 24th.
November 24th, yep.
What is the max player count you can play on this?
Well, right now we're playing on the 4th player. Obviously, you can see the 4th player option unlocks this 4th option on the signatures.
Yeah.
You put 2 bottles down instead of 1, so there's a lot more options there.
Okay.
However, we are entertaining one of the stretch goals is going to be a 5 or 6 player option, and in that case, this board is going to be reversible, and there'll be a 5 and 6 player option. And in those options, there's going to be 3 options for each. So every one of these is going to be 3 options instead of 2. And that's going to be, and then there'll be a 6th option for the signature. So we're going to expand on that location. So that's a big stretch goal because obviously we have to redesign the map on the opposite side. But that's also at a step where we've unlocked characters. Now there's 5 characters in the box. We just had the white sports car up here. There's also a silver Tesla in the core box, and we have 4 others. I think a Range Rover, a G-Wagon, the Lamborghini SUV, and we had to do it. We had to do the 1970s Pimp Econoline van. So it's quite literally, it's a low riding purple van.
Nice.
Even the meeple, the wheels are just cut short, so they're just a little.
I like that. I like it.
So, and they all have unique abilities as well. So once we get all those characters unlocked, then the last stretch goal for there is going to be the 5 or 6 player option. The game trays is doing our trays. So there's a few things that will change. The cards are going to be wider rather than tall, but because it's an actual tray, you slip the cards underneath, so the top symbol is showing. Not only that, but the tourists are actually going to be inverted so that the pictures on the bottom and the requirements are on top. Because once again, they slip behind the card on the tray.
Okay.
So it's it condenses the player area, so it's a lot smaller. Other unlockables is instead of a flat bonus for the signature, you actually draw 3 cards and pick 1 benefit. That's one of the other stretch goals. More tourist cards, more upgrade cards, and potentially more bespoke components and so forth.
Awesome. Well, I am very impressed with this game.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see this fulfill on Kickstarter on the 24th. So yeah, this was like very nice and relaxing. And seriously, what I did, I was drinking and I was having a good time. I didn't play as well as what I could have, but it wasn't influenced because of this. It's because I'm just that bad.
Well, yeah, you can blame it on me, Chris.
I'll blame it on Daniel.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
That was me.
You wouldn't have beat me, but you would have come in second.
I salute you, sir. That was a brilliant maneuver. Funnily enough, every time we test the game, somebody does something like that, and it's amazing. The first time we did, I didn't even know how much of a pisser you could do that. And on the first time we tested it, one friend locked out another friend, and he just stares at him, dead stare. And then the last time we played it, a wife locked out, or I can say blocked her husband. No, the husband blocked the wife, and she was not pleased. She's just staring at him like, "You dare? What are you doing? You're doing that? You're doing that? Okay, So you don't think there's much interaction until you get to that point, and you go, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do."
Yeah.
Especially on day 3. On day 3, because there's a lot more things that locked out. You take 3 tiles, 3 lock tokens each, but you got a lot of limited options. Now, Blue, you're in a lot better position because you could take 6 tokens off. You can go anywhere you want.
So I could just kind of hang back a little bit, let y'all pass all the locked off stuff, and then just take the locked tokens off.
Exactly. For me in Reds, it's going to be a bit trickier because there's not as many options. Now, I have 3 bottles, which means I can always go to those other wineries. So that's my saving grace to save time because you can't lock those out, and I save a half an hour on those actions. Technically, Red's in a real bad position because he doesn't have any bottles and he doesn't have any way to remove the tokens. So on the last day, that's definitely going to be a tough day for him.
So it would be wise if you're doing it under the 3 days to try to at least get 1 bottle, possibly.
Yeah, there's 2 strategies going in. You can go with getting bottles, and that'll help you on day 2, 3, or save money and pick up upgrades that help you, like the one that allows you to draw 3 tokens off, or like I did, the two upgrades allowed me to play both cheese and both tasting cards. So there's lots of different options that can help you mitigate. But definitely, if you're going day 3, do bottles or get 1, because those little things that remove tokens, they have the most. You notice there's 2 of them that came out in this game. There's actually 4 of each of the 4 of those in the deck. So there is possibility of everyone being able to get 1 of them.
Yeah, I like that.
Wine tasting is being cutthroat, but if you've got, if all the players are very like fluent in the game, it could be really cutthroat.
I could picture James from Little Meeple's playing with us and just being silent and then just cutting us off left and right. And he when he plays, it's so he's got this strategy like 10 steps out of the rest of us.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of go for that. But
half the time I'm playing myself, and so I don't I can't think of strategy for in 3 ways. I have been able to kind of verify that if you go hardcore with like 3 or 4 tourists every single day, and you spend all your money on just mitigating the individual actions, you don't go for upgrades, you soar the points at the beginning, and then in the last day, everyone else just rockets past you because you are so limited in what you can do. So I've noticed these strategies. It's definitely one of those situations where, like me, I want you guys to do well. I want, because obviously as a salesman, I know always let the customers win. So
No, I like that.
That was always a good situation. But you can see teaching this game to someone, you're like, well, you could do that if you want, and just you could throw the game very quickly. So it's definitely a game where somebody who knows how to play it can destroy somebody who doesn't. So, and there's no real way around that. That's why we put in the manual actual strategy going, hey, by the way, get 2 or 3 instead of 4 tourists. Only do 4 tourists if you know you can maximize them.
Yeah. I feel like I should have gone for a 3rd tourist, because then at least I could have done some more wine tastings, or at least my wine tastings could have been more productive, I think. But yeah, no, I enjoy this. So I cannot wait. Now, say the name of the game one more time, because I'm going to enunciate it incorrectly. It was Naramata or Naramata?
Naramata, a game of wine and tourism.
Yeah, Naramata. Be on the lookout for it. Kickstarter this upcoming 24th of November. Be on the lookout for it, because this was fun. I enjoyed it. I was able to crack open a bottle of wine, drink some Moscato while I was playing.
Oh, it's empty. Look at that.
Oh, it's not there yet. Not there yet. There's still just a little bit in the bottom of the glass.
Stream unless you finish it. You got to.
I'm a slow sipper. I mean, we played 2 hours, and I this is the same glass I started with. But
you cannot go across. You are not going off the stream without finishing that glass, sir.
Fine.
There's that glass.
Do it.
There you go.
I didn't even need a hydrate button for that, so that was good.
On a 3-day game, this would have taken about just under 2 hours, because obviously we were teaching, and you'd be surprised how fast that last day goes. First day, you notice the first day took a long time. Second day was a good 20 minutes less, and we've seen day 3s take 15 minutes.
Yeah, I can picture it being very quick of a game. I mean, considering that we did play 2 hours, played 2 days worth, with about 30 minutes of teaching. I think that was about what we did, about 30 minutes for the teach.
Yeah, I don't think we really got started until about 8:20, 8:30.
Yeah.
I mean, your time. You're not talking about.
No, our time.
No, we're talking the regular time.
The normal time.
Central, right down the middle. Average time.
That's the right kind of time. I'm Eastern. I'm an Easterner, but nah. But but yeah, be on the lookout for this game. Check it out. If you're checking this out on BGG later, I'm going to have a little bit of thoughts about this game. I can already tell you that this is one that I would like to just sit down with some friends, crack open a bottle of wine, just kind of drink a little bit, enjoy the game, get a little cutthroat, Daniel, and just kind of have fun. So that's really what it was. Chris, thank you for showing us the game.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Daniel and Alison.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm very impressed with the gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and play us out. We're going to tell you, have a great night. Remember, if we can gather at the table, we can do the same for a good cause. So we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
We'd like to also thank The Op for sponsoring tonight's live stream. One of our favorite games for them